This is a Wiim Pro. This is a Wiim Pro Plus. They look identical, but they're not. Not quite. So what's the same? What's different? And is it worth it to upgrade? Let's get into it. Just real quick before we start, if you want to see a more detailed rundown of the connections and other little things, check out my review of the Wiim Pro right here. But speaking of the Pro, so there I was, minding my own business, checking the stats of the Wiim Pro video I posted earlier that morning, answering comments as they came in, etc. Just a normal YouTube video publishing day. To my surprise, Wiim announces the launch of the Pro Plus 2 days later. What are the odds? Thanks a lot. Oh, an email from my Wiim contact. Just a second. Would you like to review the Wiim Pro Plus when we get more review units in? Oh, why yes, of course! So yes, now that I'm finally getting around to this review, let's make some comparisons, shall we? The main difference between the two lies within their ability to convert analog signals into digital, and digital signals into analog, aka their ADC and DAC chips. When speaking of DACs, or digital to analog converters, the Pro has a Texas Instruments PCM5121 chip, while the Pro Plus has an AKM4493 SEQ chip. After poring over some articles and forums about DACs and their respective chipsets, I found that AKM unanimously makes higher quality chips. But here are a few more details straight from the Wiim website. It features a new generation AKM4493 SEQ premium DAC that is able to achieve a leading level of low distortion and wide dynamic range thanks to AKM's Velvet sound technology. It supports up to 678 kHz PCM and DSD512 with PCM/DSD automatic switching, ideal for the latest high-resolution audio source. Achieve a 100 decibel signal-to-noise ratio, total harmonic distortion plus noise of 0.00032%, negative 110 decibels, from 44.1 to 192K. Wow. Points to the Pro Plus then, geez. And on the flip side, speaking of ADCs, or analog to digital converters, the Pro Plus utilizes a TI Burr Brown Audio PCM 1861 ADC, achieving up to 192 kHz 24-bit digital output with a 110 decibel signal-to-noise ratio, essentially turning your analog signal into a high-res audio signal. The Pro's ADC, on the other hand, is fixed at 48 kHz 16-bit. So in a nutshell, the Pro Plus offers better DAC and ADC conversion and is much quieter with a better signal-to-noise ratio for all you golden-eared audiophiles out there. Another difference between the Pro and the Pro Plus is what's in the box? The Pro and Pro Plus both come with a USB Type-C cable that connects to the provided power brick. They come with an optical cable and stereo RCA cable. But you might notice that the Pro Plus's box is slightly taller, and that's because the Pro Plus comes with the Wiim Voice Remote. Although the remote is supported by every Wiim product, including the Mini, but it's an added expense, with the exception of the Pro Plus. It's a pretty simple remote with a power button, microphone button for use with voice assistance, volume controls, play, pause, skip, forward, backward, mute, source, and 4 custom preset shortcut buttons. Beyond that, the Pro Plus now has an ultra-low noise clock, power, and careful PCB circuit design, making it much quieter than the Pro if you yourself need that extra quiet noise floor. Okay, since both the Pro and the Pro Plus handle high-res music very well, it was honestly a little bit difficult to make any discernible difference sonically between the two. I guess maybe the other issue is that I don't currently have any true analog sources to listen to music, such as a nice turntable or CD transport. So I can only imagine that could be where you might notice a slight difference if you're doing some hardcore critical listening. In my theater, I have a 4K Blu-ray player where I can pop in CDs from my 90s collection and listen to it that way. But it's still technically going through a digital HDMI cable to my preamp and out to my tower speakers, as opposed to just a pure analog signal chain. So I guess one scenario where you might notice the true difference that the Pro Plus brings to the table is if you have a really nice turntable and you're listening to the White Stripes or perhaps another album from Jack White's various bands or solo projects. The reason I bring him up is because he is one of the few analog purists out there today who is still literally recording to analog tape, making edits to his recordings with a razor blade like they did in the 1970s, and then taking those master tapes which he then has pressed straight to a vinyl record, retaining the pure analog sound, having never gone through any digital conversion along the way. Insane, right? At least that's what I've been led to believe reading various articles about Jack White. Maybe it's just a rumor? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you're a Jack White Uber fan. But while I was comparing the Pro and the Pro Plus, I went through Apple Music's old school high-res lossless and regular lossless offerings like The Who's Who's Next, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, the Beatles' 2019 remix of Abbey Road, as well as Let It Be, Fleetwood Mac's remastered Tusk album, and also their self-titled album, Earth, Wind & Fire, the Eagles' Hell Freezes Over live album, and even threw in some Nick Drake to hear his fingers moving over those guitar strings and frets. I listened to those albums through Klipsch the 9 speakers, and yeah, it was tough to tell the difference, at least with a streaming source. Did they still sound fantastic? Absolutely. I still can't get over how amazing high-res lossless sounds, even when streaming it when you have the right equipment to play it through. It especially translates well when it's a more intimate or acoustic arrangement, since the presence of the vocals cuts through the mix so clearly, the squeak of the fingers across guitar strings, clean bass I can feel in my chest, the strumming of guitar picks, etc. So yes, while it didn't seem like there was much of a sonic difference between the two, again I want to reiterate that I may have been missing out due to the source of the music. But if you find yourself wondering which to get, honestly at this point I would still spend the extra money to get the Pro Plus. It's just like a better insurance policy knowing you have better internal components so you can rest assured that you're getting the best possible audio reproduction that a Wiim product can provide. The remote definitely comes in handy at times, and honestly since the Mini still exists, I imagine Wiim might be slowly phasing out the Pro anyway. The Pro and the Pro Plus are almost too similar, so I can see most people comparing the two and then ultimately going with the Pro Plus in the end. Or another option is I could see people getting a Pro Plus as the primary source in their main listening area, broadcasting wireless audio to a couple regular Pros put in various places around the house for some whole home audio bliss, saving a bit of money that way since the Pro costs a little bit less and offers Ethernet and more connections than the Mini. But now that I have a Pro Plus, it honestly makes me want to look into getting a nice turntable and CD transport this upcoming holiday shopping season. I've been meaning to do it for quite some time, but now that I have the Pro Plus, that desire to be able to take my growing collection of vinyl records and old CDs and broadcast those sources around the house to other Wiim products is very enticing. So thanks Wiim for giving me more reasons to spend more money and seamlessly marry the two worlds of analog and digital music together. Thanks for honestly making it too easy. Jeez. Thank you for joining me on this review of the Wiim Pro Plus. And now it's your turn. Is whole home audio something you've been longing for? Are you planning on upgrading to the Pro Plus? Because that's how Wiim gets you. Now you can get the Pro Plus and take your old Pro and use it in your den or your study or your bedroom. Were you like me and thinking of getting a turntable or CD transport this holiday shopping season? Let's have a conversation in the comments below, people. As always, please be kind to each other out there. Don't just listen to music, make any source high resolution with a Wiim Pro Plus. And of course, always be listening.